Mm. Okay, so it's like I have to start this tool first. So what if this tool for the multi-chat is messing up our thing? That's the reason why we were lagging. Okay, well, it's working though, for sure. Oh, that's good. Can I clear the chat? Doesn't look like it. Can I trigger the bot from here? Hmm. Gonna get some trades in. I just realized 200 profit. Get a little pump going. I think I'm gonna trade an Eve position real quick. So let's watch something. Anything that does not get me banned. Love this guy's channel.
This is Oakland, California. Owner of this property not for any rent or lawlessness, crime, homelessness, police giving up, businesses closing, and with one of every 30 residents having their car stolen last year, a 38% increase in robberies, 23% increase in burglaries, and 44% increase in motor vehicle theft, In-N-Out made history by closing their first store in 75 years due to the rampant crime happening at their Oakland location. With the Oakland Police Union calling for Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao to resign, claiming the city has become an international embarrassment under her leadership, and with many residents believing the police no longer have their back in the event of a crime, and with the district attorney focusing on not incarcerating criminals, many Oakland residents believe they need new leadership to restore Oakland to the cultural capital it once was.
Target enslaved my ancestors a year ago.
Target?
I'm black, I'm a woman, and I'm a worker, and I'm queer. So I've got 4 different oppressional systems already fighting against me.
Yeah, I've been assaulted by a man. He hit me 5 times in my face already.
I got kidnapped and taken against my will.
So I met up with Bay Area native and investigative journalist Darren Stalcup to hit the streets and see what's really going on in Oakland. Right, look at that. Suspected fire right here. This thing is torn up. We got more and more mobile units people are living in. The homelessness is unending, literally. Graffiti on the wall, skid marks on the ground. We need to be careful out here.
Eve could be pumping, but
No, he's just giving us an escort. He knows where
looks rough.
He's giving us an escort?
Yeah. Right now there's a cop following us.
What's going on here? Why are we the ones being followed? I don't know why we're being followed when there's no doubt criminal activity left, right, and center.
A lot of the kids have guns now, so when I'm walking around, I'm not looking for some 25-year-old guy with a gun.
I'm 13-year-olds out here?
I'm looking for 7-year-olds with guns, actually. I'm like... I love the way Tyler moves!
Hey, I definitely just ran around in front of a cop. I didn't mean it. He didn't do shit! We're headed to a giant camp. We're gonna get out there early before things get shiesty and dark. So we made our way to a massive homeless encampment directly next to the highway that would make you think we're in a third world country.
Okay,
not the richest area of the richest country in the world. We're going
make a
into the
trade here,
lion's
hold
den
on.
right now. We're gonna be cool, calm, and collected. Mind our six. We want to actually get some word on the street right now. I haven't seen a true vlog or documentary or really anything recently of what's going on here in Oakland.
Every RV has like 4 Walter Whites.
I'm gonna trade Ethereum.
Pinkmans.
Lots of flies.
Already has a pump, so I'm just gonna try and get the retrace
behind me right now.
at 3,400.
This became a human dumping ground. This is right by the freeway,
Okay.
right by the Burger King.
Could be.
Looks to be some fire damage.
Could be something here. Let's see.
How you doing? Is anyone home in the treehouse? Hi there. Is this your place right here?
Downstairs.
Okay. How long you been out here?
Oh, I've been in this for homeless in this area for about 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they do many
Well,
sweeps?
They don't do shit around here.
I'm trying to figure out why we're in a first-class city and you guys are living out here in poverty, you know?
Same history, everybody.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
drugs, too much party.
And I saw that slingshot. Is that for self-protection?
Ah, no.
No?
Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, oh, it's someone else's?
Hey, nah.
Oh,
So you're gonna hurt you. You come on in.
you sleeping here?
This is where I'm gonna be staying here. I'm gonna finish
What's with all these flies? Just the trash?
Let's see.
They're just everywhere out here?
everywhere out here.
You use anything?
So you anything? No.
Nah.
Smoke weed is about it.
Ah.
Well, you know they help more out there with their people out there in San Francisco.
Yep.
Berkeley's the same way. Berkeley help the homeless.
Yeah.
Out here in Oakland, I don't know if there's too many of us or what's going on, but they just don't. To me, they don't give a crap.
Yeah.
What they want to do is they want to push us into a corner and hide us. But what they don't realize is that the problem is becoming really, really, really big.
No, have fun in the garbage. If you like this.
He likes slingshots?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Easy, brother. See ya. And just walk with me for a second here, Darren. Just want to show the amount of trash right next to the main street. I don't understand why this is here. Why this is not swept up.
Billions of dollars have been wasted only for the situation to get worse.
0.5 times 5
trash,
is.
people living in there. Talk to our boy, there's
How
flies
much?
nonstop. The road is being used, so they're living right next to a freeway exit.
12.5.
Look at that. I mean, look, just zip straight through.
If 12.5
As I went too, I mean, you gotta be smart and
equals.
quick in these roads. Obviously, the smell is something you cannot
How much should we
experience
be
with the camera,
losing here?
But you can only imagine 10, 20 years of living out here, no sewage, no running water.
Hundo maybe?
Feels like we're in a third world country.
I'm gonna be very conservative
Tents on
here
tents
because
on
this
tents non-stop out here. Just keep in mind it's parallel to
It could be
functional
bad.
streets. This stuff's being used on a daily basis. I mean, just all sorts of random shit, trash
this
tents, people in
means
their cars right here,
Hundo
living life.
is.
It is interesting. I imagine not many people
I'll calculate
walk
my
through
position
here.
size-
Just begs
size
the
with
question,
it.
why isn't this trash been swept? Do they ever clean up the trash?
Yeah, outside of pretty much.
Yeah. Full setup, trash,
800.
tents, freeway.
We're gonna go for a
the
limit
streets are
buy on
actively being
Eve
used
at
right now.
3,000,
Definitely interesting setup.
400.
I'm starting to
35
get
for
the,
800
the feeling
bucks.
that no one ever comes out here, Darren.
This is the epitome of neglect and abandonment. This is a mecca for the destitute.
And
Yeah.
Wanderers.
I mean, look right here. We have
Gonna stop
tranquilos
loss.
right here.
Look, 3 dogs digging through the rummage. 5 dogs. 5 dogs.
Yeah, this is sad. He has poop hanging out of him. Man, this is sad. Look at this. All these dogs out here. How long you been out here? 4 or 5 years? Is rent just too expensive or what? Yeah. ¿Cuántos años vivía aquí?
Like 7?
Tu casa?
Yeah.
7? You built this all yourself?
Yeah.
All right, wow. You sleep in here?
No, yet.
Okay, got it.
I live in the truck for now.
This is the story everywhere. This is a common theme, not just in Oakland or San Francisco, the Bay Area, or all across California, but all across the country. We are seeing a major shift. Not only are we witnessing the largest redistribution of wealth our country has ever seen, we are seeing
20%.
the largest gap between the haves and the haves not. The middle class is dying, and people are working 9 to 5, living check to check.
¿Trabaja aquí?
No, a traer carne vengo a comprar.
Ah, aquí?
Ajá.
¿Es peligroso aquí o no?
5 times
Bien
4.2.
Sí.
Sí,
¿Por qué?
porque hay
110.
muchos delincuentes,
Yeah. ¿Vagabundos?
vagabundos.
¿Cuántos años los campos allí?
Pues aquí como
Plus
unos
21.
mínimo unos 20 años.
20 años. ¿Por qué es posible que viven aquí?
What the fuck happened?
Porque la policía les admiten.
Honestly, the country I grew up in is slowly but surely becoming
my God.
unrecognizable. I'm not too sure if California is going to sink into the ocean or burn to the ground. We just walked through what might as well be Little Libya. I mean, it was a cesspool, feces, urine everywhere, trash, garbage. It was absolutely horrible to see the quality of life in which our fellow Americans are living in.
To the right of us, there is the red light district, unofficially. I didn't realize it. We saw 2 working girls. I would say we could go
So I
walk
gotta
by.
start again.
Good.
Fuck.
You wanna?
They might say hi, huh?
They might say hi, they might tell us f off, we might get shot by a pimp. Well, real talk though, real talk. The pimps are definitely watching out here.
Oh yeah.
Let's just, why don't we turn around? Actually, let's ask this homeboy right here. Question for you. You see these chicks working the streets every day? Is it dangerous having your shop out here?
He's the owner. That's good.
Okay. Oh, he's strapped. How you doing, sir?
It's a large encampment just a block down. It goes along the freeway.
More right than we do.
Those guys
Yeah.
ever give you any trouble?
Yep.
How do you feel about Mayor Shang Tao, the mayor of Oakland? Should she be reelected or should a new leader step in?
Right now, everything needs to change.
Did you always have the gun, or did you kind of realize I need to protect myself out here?
It's just tough around here right now.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
I believe
yeah.
it's necessary for law-abiding citizens to have the means and capability to defend themselves. As you know, all the criminals out here have guns, so I have no problem with you. And I
Yeah,
actually
machine
feel
guns.
safer.
Machine guns?
I feel-
16.5.
In this business here in Oakland for a long time, or when you get out here?
16.5% equals 100 bucks
When did
lost.
you notice the shift, if any?
About maybe 10 years ago.
10 years?
Things got worse and worse, and now it's just ridiculously.
Is the law enforced out here?
Lawlessness. There's nothing out here.
You think this is a good place to raise a family now?
Is 600 bucks.
Has anyone ever been shot at this intersection or that intersection?
Many times.
Many times.
Last week or what?
Let's talk to sheriff real quick. Working girls on the streets right here, and the sheriff. Let's say hi. Question for you. So is that legal right there?
What?
Prostitution?
They're only in the city.
Okay.
Can't touch them.
Can't touch them.
They're victims.
Human trafficking?
They need help. Exactly.
I see. All right. See ya. That's interesting. I guess we just go ask. And speaking of which, we got the ambulance right in front of us. Things are happening fast out here.
Hey, that's DJ Fire Truck. That's DJ Fire Truck.
Is it always like this?
Bam, locked in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we have to
Shots in.
pray.
It's only wonder what has happened. They're dancing.
Oh, Panalito.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. Pointing at me just so you know, you can see it. All right. How are you guys doing, by the way?
I'm good.
And even that cop, he said you guys are being human trafficked.
No.
No?
This is very much by choice.
Entrepreneurship?
By choice, baby.
Okay. We spoke to Luxury and Tiffany earlier about doing a little interview.
Yo ho ho
Would you
ho.
be interested?
Now, while my last interview with the oldest profession in human history got the entire video demonetized, if you want to hear Alexis'
Analito,
story,
was geht
you
ab?
can subscribe to my Patreon
Wie
for
geht's?
as little as $5
Wie findest du
a month
mein
on
Interface? Mein Layout?
patreon.com/TylerOlivera for early access to every video before it goes up on YouTube, extended cuts, uncensored moments like these, and DLC content that'll never be uploaded to YouTube. Help us go fully independent and continue to bring boots on the ground coverage to you that's not bought and paid for by shady corporate interests.
Cool, man.
And on our way out of the red light district, I saw this woman taping cardboard to what once was her window that appeared to have been freshly bipped.
Question for you. I'm just wondering if your car got broken into, basically. Yeah? When did this happen?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I was in the hospital. My brother had the car for me while I was in the hospital.
Okay.
I got my car back, and this is what it looked like.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened.
You could just, I don't know. These people just don't care about other people's shit, really.
Sure. Is this something you would file a police
Panalito, ich habe ein Shirt designt heute.
At this point, honey,
Ich fange an, für Valentinstag ein paar Shirts zu designen.
911 in Oakland, they get a voicemail.
Weil ich bin jetzt Verkäufer auf Amazon.
It happens.
Yeah.
They
Und ich zeig dir das gerade.
or get put on hold.
Bin ganz stolz drauf.
To answer the phone.
Ich glaube nicht, dass irgendwer den Spruch hat, auch nur irgendwie ähnlich oder so.
You better be dying.
Know anyone else who's had their car broken into like this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Was hältst du hiervon?
This isn't my first time
Yeah.
going through this, so
How many times has that happened to you?
I can't even count on two hands. I've had my car stolen 2 or 3 times, broken into, more than 10 times.
Yeah. This is
Das hab ich designt.
bullshit. The fact that this is allowed, you know? The fact that the cops can't.
Da steht, ich habe Schmetterlinge im Bauch.
What up? How you doing?
Nicht
brother?
wegen dir, ich habe nur einen Haufen
Outside
Schmetterlinge
had her
gegessen.
car window broken in.
That's normal, man.
Normal?
Yeah, it's normal out here.
Everyday occurrence?
Rule number 1, bro, don't leave your stuff in the car.
You guys thought the bipping in San Francisco were bad. The bipping in Oakland and surrounding neighborhoods like Piedmont and Hayward and Berkeley, it's absolutely out of control.
And while the police may not do anything if you break into someone's car, commit grand theft auto, steal an ATM, or beat and rob an old lady on the street, if you park on the side of the street and don't pay the meter, you will be fined and punished. We got a $61 parking ticket. People can do fentanyl, poop on the streets, break into cars, shoot each other. No infractions. A little park too long? There's nowhere to park out here, by the way. While me complaining about this parking ticket may seem silly, it highlights a fundamental double standard in how citizens who cause no harm to others are punished and held accountable for breaking the rules, while violent criminals victimizing innocents every day are allowed to do whatever they want.
Mach verschiedene Nischen auf. Und ich werde ein paar Marken anmelden, aber ich darf es nicht sagen, welche. Vielleicht hört jemand zu und macht es vor mir. Alles, was man braucht, ist Geld. Und zwar, um eine Marke anzumelden, brauchst du jetzt 290 €. Da kannst du 3 Klassen abdecken. Zum Beispiel T-Shirts, Vertreibung sowie Marketing und dann noch so andere Artikel, auf das du drucken willst. Und für jede weitere Klasse musst du 100 € draufzahlen. Aber im Grunde kannst du alles copyrighten, was du willst. Auf dem deutschen Patent- und Markenrechtsamt. Und ich mache das halt erstmal nicht, weil ich habe kein Geld dafür. Aber ich habe vor, ein paar Marken großzuziehen. Wir gehen in Krypto, Sport, Essen, Memes, ganz viele Sachen habe ich vor.
And I only learned this because the sponsor of this video, Rocket Money. I signed up for Rocket Money, linked my bank account in 2 seconds, tapped recurring payments to see what unwanted payments I had, and after a few taps,
im Januar habe ich einen Termin, ich werde mein Gesicht gelasert, wegen der Narbe. Kostet fast 1.000 €. Das ist mir das Wichtigste momentan. Ich kann es nicht mehr sehen. Und ich weiß nicht, ob das Ergebnis überhaupt gut wird.
If you want to save more and spend less and join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today, go to rocketmoney.com/TylerOliveira or click the link in the description to get started today for free. Thanks again, Rocket Money, and now back to Oakland. We're talking to folks out here in Oakland who ended up on the streets. You got any thoughts?
I think it's a crazy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Something to get used to when you're not used to it. I've been in a house my whole life, and now in-house means anybody that doesn't rent.
Sure.
I have a trailer, and it gets breaking into every week.
Yeah.
The city does more damage than the people who are living on the streets. They wouldn't be on the streets if the community and the environment took care of each other.
Is it dangerous out here, or is it pretty chill?
It's very dangerous out here, especially at night.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been assaulted by a man. He hit me 5 times in my face already. Because I told him no for a sexual favor, and he got mad.
Is that a common situation out here?
For women, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself, too.
How are the cops out here? Do they help you if you ask for help? Or?
You call the cops, they don't come.
Okay. Has the city ever... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A girl across the street. There was a girl there all night long, and she was doing fentanyl.
Okay.
And the guy that lives there tried to wake her up, and she was dead, and he put the body outside. The police came and got the body.
Have you seen bodies out here in the water?
Oh, yeah, they put them in the lake. They sweep the lake all the time for bodies. This is a common place to dump a body.
Mario, you live right over here?
Yeah, unfortunately and fortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you got shade at the very least.
Shade, I mean, it's a killer sight. You buy water,
yeah.
But it's just the thought of being outside, homeless, in a tent, somewhere where you're not supposed to be.
Sure.
It kind of sucks. Yeah.
How did you end up out here?
I would say the lack of help, proper resources.
Yeah.
And then, 2, the initiative to take, the action on myself, too.
Choose to be homeless, or did you get driven out by the pricing?
Driven out by the pricing and just like bullshit, a lot of bullshit.
Cost of living is astronomical, and working 2 jobs is still not a living wage. Some people say you need $400,000 a year just to be middle class. How do you feel about the social economics?
I want more 100% affordable housing.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the audience at home? Any advice for the kids, or at home with their parents, or any?
Stay in school.
Yeah.
Don't do what I did.
What did you do? How'd you end up out here?
Stay in school, guys.
I was
It's the best time of your life.
You know,
It's gonna be the most social time,
Adopted. I didn't listen to
the most precious in regards of learning, if you want to learn.
Went to school for that whole period.
And they're gonna pay for your school if you have a good country.
Oakland Public School District expelled me, and then my mom countersued.
So make the most out of it.
And then I got sent away. I got like kidnapped and taken against my will.
So, what do you mean? Like one of those reformatory school things? Oh shit, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
You know, like bag over your head, you wake up in the woods.
Yep.
Have you had tents light up on fire out here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That whole bridge.
Don't be a fool, go to school.
That whole bridge lit up.
Oh shoot, okay. They've come down here and tried to sweep?
Yeah, but we wouldn't leave.
Okay, and they just give up?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do for food and water out here if you're immobile?
I normally go to the taco truck around the corner in Panhandle.
Okay.
And if
Das kann man nur noch verbessern.
I'll do something strange for some change. I just hustle. But I get change in food stamps. I get my check tomorrow.
When you say strange for change, we're talking like sex work?
Favors, yeah.
You will accept
Ich habe voll laut gefurzt, hat man das gehört?
Yes, I will accept housing if someone comes down from the city.
Okay.
I'm tired. I want to go inside.
Do most people use out here?
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people have like problems, mental problems, and you know what I'm saying, some people are kind of like unstable in their own way because of the lack of clean medicine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and they use what they use because it helps.
They use it as a coping mechanism?
Yeah, I've seen it. There's people out here with, you know what I'm saying, I have a friend that's autistic, and he uses that to kind of stabilize himself. Like, it's fucked up because of the dirt and the shit that's in it.
Sure.
I have just recently, man, a lady came over here and really kind of, she died, like.
Right in front of you?
Yeah.
Is there a world where you move to just like a cheap town in the middle of the Midwest that costs $500 a month?
Not doing it.
Why not?
Because I love California, and like that's the state that I want to live in. And I was born here. And
are you sober?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely disturbing to see so many encampments all throughout the city, not just in one particular neighborhood, but all throughout Oakland. It seems like the quality of life here is non-existent. Disease is rampant, and this is what used to be a children's playground. This is Fallout 3.
Not necessarily child-proof anymore. So you guys understand, I've been to so many places at this point, I'm starting to lose my emotional sensitivity to what's going on here a little bit. I don't really know how to react anymore because at this point it's all starting to blend.
I mean, this car is floating right now.
Whoa.
What's going on?
That is crazy. All right, let's take a look at this. You guys are about to have your mind blown. Hey, what up? Where are we at right now?
We're in Oakland, California.
Okay, I just saw this car levitating. That's why I walked over here. Are we in the park right now?
This is a park.
Okay. Does the city come out here and say, hey, let's get you guys in the shelter? Or is it just like you're good to do whatever?
Well, unfortunately, the city.
Damn, dude, I wanna work more, but I'm like
don't do much.
so
They just
fatigued.
keep the porta potties out.
I can't think anymore.
That keeps down the hips.
When's the last time the place was swept? You know?
You have to answer that one.
It was a minute ago.
I just wanna lay down and sleep, but
See between the corrupt nonprofits,
can't.
they get billions of dollars, and the nonprofits who are actually helping people, they get pennies like that. Isn't that weird? The ones that are
That's
enabling.
not weird. That's
how they want it to go.
That's how it is. So that they still get the other people still get their money. You know what I mean?
Industry.
Like that's the industry, of course.
They call it the homeless industrial complex.
To live half comfortable, you have to be based on 2 incomes. 2 incomes easy, and that's the only way.
2 incomes.
2 incomes.
Right now, you guys are doing better than the city.
Yeah.
Some people are working.
That means a lot.
No, like there's a thing called control chaos.
Yeah.
Like, a random person will just come and start like dumping trash themselves or start a fire or you know what I mean, and then they'll be like, oh
Making
yeah,
you guys look bad?
yeah, but half the time it ain't even us. It's people who are like this, because I've seen it. A fireman running in between, like, and I'm thinking on Wood Street, what the hell is that guy doing running between front line and back line? Nobody sees this guy? Oh, okay, cool. Boom. 30 minutes later, boom, there's a fire, right? So the firemen come, and because when they're going to homeless camp, because there's sirens, it only goes like, woo.
Got it.
It's a low rear, you know what I mean? Yeah, real low. If you notice, they're going to homeless camp. Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, there you go.
That's DJ Fire Truck.
Please do not park blocking this driveway. Thank you. Zoom out a little bit. Look what we see. They are making it home right here.
Yes.
Lakeisha, how do you like Oakland?
It's a happening place, independent city,
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you feel safe living here?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's fair question?
Yeah, really very fair.
All right. We're the cops out here.
They're all right. They're
All
all
right.
right. They're all right by me.
Yeah. Can they do anything?
About this?
Yeah. Lawlessness?
No, they really can't.
No.
This is spiritual warfare. This is a job for God and his soldiers.
Yeah. Lakeisha, it's been an honor.
My pleasure. Anytime,
Tread
guys.
safely.
Ashante, merci beaucoup.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I love that.
shit.
I love that.
He's bilingual.
Woo!
Oh.
Hella hot. We like
Do a
that.
little bit more. Wait, you like that?
I love
Wait, have
that.
you guys shaken hands?
Hella lovely.
It's nice to
Shake
meet
hands.
you.
Come
Very
on
nice
now.
to meet you. Give me some sugar.
Oh, yeah. Get over there.
I got a horrible.
Get over there. Give her a hug. Yeah, he's doing that hot
He's
and cold.
gorgeous. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. And are we gonna get a kiss on camera here or what?
No.
Do you think he's sexy?
He's sexy, is he? Man, he's more than sexy. He's hot.
Well, God bless you, sister.
Well,
I
God
appreciate
bless
the
you.
interview. You want a 6
Au revoir, mais oui, un peu plus.
Oh.
Homelessness is rampant in the streets of Oakland, but how did it get to this point?
The crack era, which took place in the 80s, essentially the war on drugs back then really ignited a lot of chaos in the community, which of course led to more families struggling. The suffering that took place in the 80s led to an initiative to redevelop Oakland in the 90s. So in the 90s, a lot of revitalization started to take place, investments in the communities, and this led to a flourishing art and music scene, which led to Oakland and the San Francisco Bay Area at large to become the cultural capital of the world. And of course, this also led to a renaissance in the 90s with all the internet and the technology, Steve Jobs.
How did we get from Steve Jobs to stealing ATM machines with chains and breaking into McDonald's? This place used to be the cultural capital of the West Coast. Now, lawlessness and despair. But there's some cool neighborhoods.
That's what you describe Oakland as law?
How you doing?
She's pissed. Yeah.
Hold on. Sister, can we interview you?
Wait a second. That hurt.
I know it hurt, but...
And it hurts to a depth because I'm a black woman.
Okay. You were upset a little bit. It's
Yeah.
all love. It's all love. I'm not trying to piss anyone off.
Okay.
We're here with you now.
Okay.
And you're from Oakland?
Yeah.
Okay. So I struck an emotional chord.
For sure.
Talk to me.
Yeah. My name is Jolie Zaradrevich.
Okay.
The Bay Area knows me. I don't even need the introduction.
All right.
I'm the co-developer underneath the Black Panther leader. So when you said like despair and loss in this city, the crime is because people are homeless. We are stealing basic necessities.
Sure.
People are bipping into cars because they are on the streets. So I wouldn't necessarily consider it to be crime. When you describe the city as craziness, I wouldn't put it as the word craziness. I would look at it as there's a political system where we've never had access to the rightful money that we're supposed to be at. Very much so.
Sure.
And you can see the political leaders around here pretty much not giving a about what we're
100%.
doing. And the very first people that they say, oh, there's this big crime surge is what they categorize as these black super predators. These young black men and black women who are on the streets struggling.
Help me understand Oakland a little bit more besides just like lawlessness and crime, because there is a little bit of that. We can't deny that, right?
Personally,
Yeah.
I don't look at a crime. If you're going into Target, a multi-billion-dollar company, and stealing clothes, it's not a crime. You're resourceful.
Not a crime?
Hell no. You're resourceful as fuck. You're homeless.
That's
on the
where we
street.
disagree, I think.
You've been displaced. I mean, because you're white and I'm black, there's a whole nother socioeconomical piece that I have never had access to. So you can go into any single place and put your name on a piece of paper, apply for that job. You're not worried about if your name sounds too black. You're not worried about if when you show up, if you got to do something with your locks because
Got
it's
it.
inappropriate.
Question for you: is it different being a white dude versus a black dude versus a Mexican versus an Asian here in Oakland?
Everybody do the same thing, man.
Same shit, though?
Everybody do the same thing.
All right.
It's just that Asians, Hispanics, they stick together.
Okay.
Yeah, blacks, they kind of, I hate to say it, but blacks, they like crabs. They don't want to see, they...
Crabs in a bucket?
Crabs in the bucket.
What about the whites? They're just dyeing their hair blue?
Y'all trying everything. Y'all trying to fit in, man.
They're trying to fit in?
Target enslaved my ancestors a year ago.
Target?
Target.
What did Target do?
If we really want to break down every single
Break it
system
down, sis.
that has truly impoverished our community, enslaved us, taken money from our families, and then displaced us as if now we're the burden to this entire city that was once 40% black.
Sure. But what did Target do, and at what point do we not uphold any values when we lead to...
At what point do we not uphold Target? to then give back all of their funds that they can easily give back.
But if we steal from Target, then we steal from CVS, then we steal from Walmart, and then the Walmarts leave, and then all we have.
But we built it.
No, but then all we have are corner stores in Oakland when we run out all these large businesses, right?
Our corner stores are mom and pop's own. They're black and brown owned. We don't steal from our corner stores. That's the crazy part.
Security footage shows a man walking into Ideal Market in Oakland and seconds later ripping out the store's ATM. It happened around 10 p.m. Thursday night while the store was still open with an employee inside.
We have ATM as a convenience for the neighborhood, for the customers that come here.
But
we could rock into
okay,
a
let's
corner
take Walmart's in Chicago.
Okay.
They're gone. Why are they gone?
Whose fault is that?
People stealing from Walmart.
Why did Walmart come into an urban city already and displace thousands of black people in an area where we needed housing first? Once we have housing, you can sustain yourself from there on in. Walmart. We're also in a generation where people do as trends. Honestly, I used to steal from stores.
Do like whites stick together, do blacks stick together, the Hispanics and Asians stick together, or does everyone just chill with each other?
Everyone's just people, but the blacks are the primary race in the community, but shit comes in all colors. There's good people in every race and there's bad people in every race.
100%.
We don't have time for racism. It's a long forgotten historical memory.
I agree that someone should not be defined by a felony conviction or a crime or a past status, but we shouldn't glorify or promote or allow that to be the case, right? Like, if you need food, maybe we make food banks more available, but robbing the corner store or the Target's not the solution, right?
But the solution was never allowing for those businesses to ever come into fruition, knowing that, number one, this was first native land, Ohlone land. And we've killed almost 33 different tribes. And then you've taken Africans and brought them all through the country and pretty much exploited our bodies, our minds, and our spirits to create a Target, to create a Walmart, to create these banks that then further and exploit us. So yes, I'm not saying it's a right thing to do, but these big corporations have the power to change.
Sure.
That's the fucked up part, and they're not willing to change anything.
Can you explain to me what it is to be a black woman in America 2024?
I'm black, I'm a woman, and I'm a worker, and I'm queer. So I've got 4 different oppressional systems already fighting against me. I was raised by 2 white Caucasian parents. They abused me. They really broke me down. You could say I had a chance at life, but the people who were there to actually give me that life didn't give me that chance. But you said the word hope. I used to tell that to myself as I was at a bus stop, wondering what my next meal was gonna be. And I said, hope, I gotta be more than this. This cannot be it.
Well, this lady obviously wants the best for her community. When you have local rapping legends like the Jacka shot in the head while being in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong people back in 2015, it's clear that senseless violence here in Oakland does not discriminate on who it victimizes. He's yanking his stuff right in the middle of the street. Hi there. Might not be safe to do that.
It's actually a woman, and might be down to do the interview, but it doesn't seem like she's in this dimension right now. She's in the middle of the road, which is a clear sign of
psychosis
or some kind of mental disability. I'm not a doctor.
Oh, let's center this for a minute. Why isn't she in a psych ward? And since the law is barely enforced or punished, it slowly becomes free game for looting, break-ins, and theft. Also, if you're at the airport, do not leave your luggage behind. It may be somewhere out here like this, somewhat unavoidable. Darren, they even got a fridge. Brand new fridge. Check this out. But luckily, the few rare nonprofits and organizations still trying to make a change. What are you guys up to?
Hey man, just
I respect
Salvation Army, you know what I mean?
All right, on. You guys want to share any thoughts on what's going on here in Oakland?
Hey man, what's going on in Oakland, man? It's a travesty, man.
Yeah, I agree.
With all this homelessness going on, man, I really hope that Gavin Newsom spent that $1 billion well, you know what I'm saying, to take care of the homeless, you know.
We're on the 20-year anniversary of his 10-year plan to solve homelessness in California. Billions of dollars later, the situation has only gotten worse. What's going on, brother?
What's going on is these rules and regulations that they're stipulating on the homeless, you know what I mean? There's a lot of drug and mental problems going on right now. You know, they need to take care of that first before they do anything.
I was out here before. Now I'm at a Salvation Army.
There's a lot of sober people out here. Actually, they don't smoke cigarettes or drink. They're sober and they're out here.
But they got the image that they do.
Their rent is too high, I guess.
Rent is to work. It's hard to get jobs. It's hard to do a lot of things out here without having the actual knowledge and structure to do it.
Said if you guys are hurting and struggling, this is a male ARC, so there's no females allowed. The other ARC that we have for females is in San Francisco. But you can come right in. We can do the paperwork for you.
Located here at
What? 601 Weber Street, Oakland, California. You know what I mean?
While saving the city can seem like an uphill battle, this is a fight worth fighting both here and every other community suffering similar problems. While billions of dollars have been spent, and with the problems facing Oakland only seeming to get worse, addressing the problems your community faces, holding your local politicians accountable, and having the courage to speak up when the opinion is unpopular is critical to continue living in communities worth living in.
Next speaker, please.
Oh shit, there he is, there he is.
Good afternoon, San Francisco supervisors. Stand before you today with a heavy heart as I speak about
something that's really important to me and probably every mother and father in our community, and that is the presence of fentanyl on our playgrounds and in our schools. I implore you to take divisive and decisive action. A lot of the people who are ransacking our grocery stores, who are breaking into our apartments, my apartment's been broken into 3 times. I've had to waken up to burglars kicking in my door and fighting off burglars with my own 2 bare hands while my girl's screaming bloody murder. And that's happened more than once, more than I care to remember. And I'm just wondering if the people on top of the hill, living on top of the hill, have ever had to fight for their life.
Wow,
man.
no, powerful words, man.
I was wondering, you know, if people living on top of the hill have ever had to fight for their lives. The lack of leadership in San Francisco, the chaos in San Francisco is having a negative impact on Oakland, and they have become intertwined. Both communities have reached terminal velocity in their collapse, and they're kind of just doing like a death spiral.
If you want to stay up to date on the Bay Area, go follow Darren at Darren Stahlcup on Twitter, and thanks for watching.
How do these people make you feel? Do you regard them with admiration, indifference, disgust? The answer might tell you something about your relationship with the internet. The internet's a much smaller place than it used to be. The majority of users these days are just refreshing the same handful of apps day in and day out. But even though people tend to have a presence on all of them, everyone's mostly got their favorite. Their home base, the one that they spend most of their time and winds up shaping their entire perception of internet culture. At the same time, you have content gradually filtering out from each of these bubbles and going into the others, often plopped in with no context whatsoever.
the balls harden.
Leaving the natives of one app to contend with a message from another universe, like the apes fighting the monolith in 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I think Twitter's recent discovery of TikTok's Costco guys is one of the greatest examples of this phenomenon. Oh, and as it turns out, the dad also has a really interesting, unexpected backstory. So for today's video, let's take a look at AJ and Big Justice. Oh, and of course, the Rizzler. This video is sponsored by Helix. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding custom fit to your needs and shipped right to your door. Everyone sleeps differently, so Helix has you take a sleep quiz to match your body type and sleep preferences. I'm a side sleeper, so Helix set me up with a Sunset mattress. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. The Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. The Helix Kids mattress, designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. It comes rolled up in a box and it's easy to set up. And to make sure you love your Helix mattress, there's a 100 nights of sleep trial. You also get a 10-year warranty as well as financing options and payment plans. And Helix mattresses are fiberglass free. I've been sleeping on a Helix mattress for a few years now, and it's some of the best sleep that I've gotten. And the Glaciotex upgrade that I got ensures that I stay cool when I sleep. I love my Helix mattress, and I think that you would too. If you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix Sleep right now. Their 4th of July sale is running now, and it's a great time to upgrade your mattress. You can get 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattress, plus 2 free pillows. Or take advantage of 25% off site-wide. Just check out the Helix site for more details. I don't really spend a lot of time on TikTok. I post videos on there, but I just don't really scroll through my timeline like I used to. Most of what I see on TikTok is the stuff that winds up on Twitter or Instagram. And one of the vectors through which a lot of TikTok stuff spreads on Twitter is this guy named Mittens. He's got a bit of variety here. He reposts a lot of e-girl thirst traps. He's got a lot of those sorts of videos you see on TikTok where it's just like some redneck with 10 subscribers rambling about nothing. He also tends to find a lot of things before they really blow up, like Sage Shadowblade back in 2020. He's also had quite a few controversies with calling things cringe, just generally being negative about stuff that other people found wholesome. And he was about to have another. On March 17th of 2021, Mittens posts, "This kid is going to grow up and resent his father for this." And attached was this video.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
We're Costco guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
This tweet now sits at 31.5 million views and was a lot of people's first exposure to the Costco guys. Particularly people like me who don't spend a lot of time on TikTok. By and large, people seem to disagree with Mittens' assessment. A lot of commenters said they wish they had this kind of relationship with their dad. This is how normal people act when they haven't had their brains warped by years of internet irony. Some had fond memories of family members who were also Costco guys. Others got fixated on how remarkably Italian they look and their beautiful eyelashes. Of course, not everyone was so positive about it. Throughout the years, there's been so many controversies with family vloggers and such, that when people see a child in content, particularly stuff that's well polished and professional looking, they worry that the child is being exploited for views, that their parents have them working in some kind of content sweatshop. Which, while that absolutely does happen, I don't think that's what's happening here for reasons I'll explain later. Some people, while not feeling any particular type of way about the father and son themselves, saw this and lamented American society's worship of consumerism, that this was brain-dead content for morons. And some also suspected that this was guerrilla marketing for Costco, which, whenever you see content where a person is raving about a specific brand or service, it's definitely a valid question to ask. You know, it's illegal to not disclose sponsorships, but it happens anyway. That being said, I don't think that's what's happening here. For starters, they've done brand deals in which they did the proper disclosures. And Costco, which I don't think would risk running afoul of the FTC, really is a store that has people like this who are just super into the brand. Costco has a better reputation than probably any other billion-dollar corporation in the world. The internet is just filled with data and anecdotes showing their good treatment of employees, with higher wages, more benefits, and upward mobility within the company than their competitors. It's not that there are these altruistic philanthropists. When stockholders were critical of this approach, their founder James Sinegal said that he wants to build a company that'll still be there 50 years from now. And also, he once jokingly threatened to kill the current CEO if he raised the price of the hot dog, which is one of America's greatest deals at $1.50. The hot dog, of course, has become a meme in and of itself. But beyond the company's reputation, some people generally just enjoy the experience of shopping there. Some people find it fun or relaxing to just go to Costco and look at stuff. I've never personally done it with Costco, but I've definitely had a lot of days on tour where we just killed time by walking around Walmart or wherever. So I get it. But I think what was lost to a lot of people who saw this first on Twitter, myself included, was that this was part of a trend that was going around on TikTok at the time. We're X, so of course we're Y.
Of course we're Mexican. We use the oven as storage. You need a pet?
Basically, you identify as part of a group and then say things you do because of that. Think like Jeff Foxworthy's You Might Be a Redneck format.
If you refer to the 5th grade as my senior year, you might be a redneck.
So you have people using this trend to kind of make jokes about or give insight to their job, their race, their location. I'm a YouTuber. Of course I have colored light bulbs in my room. I'm a guy in his 30s who watches horror movies. Of course I got wet specimens and that bust of the lady with the veil on her face. So they participate in this TikTok trend and it winds up blowing up everywhere. Aside from all the people resharing it on other social media, it's sitting at 46 million views on TikTok. And now with it blowing up everywhere, people are making fan art, memes, using their audio, doing parodies. Now, this is who they are. They've entered the cultural zeitgeist as the Costco guys. But they didn't start out that way. AJ Bufumo makes his TikTok debut in April of 2022, portraying an evil banker who wants to keep you from getting a loan because of your low credit score. But his company, Mortgage Muscles, can get you approved. His first several TikToks promote the company Mortgage Muscles. In these TikToks, he's explaining the various ways his company can help people from different walks of life in various financial situations. It's unclear what eventually became of this business or his relationship to it, but towards the end of that year, he shifts the focus of his account. He starts experimenting with all different kinds of content. He's talking about sports, he's making motivational stuff, he's giving advice, he's commenting on the news. And this is all clearly not just some guy rambling. Everything is very polished and professional looking. He's clearly trying to make something of this. Which honestly, that's actually the advice I give people when they ask me about starting a channel, that they should just experiment with different types of content until they find something that works. And he starts to find the momentum he's looking for with food content. In December, he gets the double stack burger from Charm City in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Doesn't do crazy numbers, but it's the most popular video he's had in a while. So he starts making more food videos, and they're consistently outperforming everything else. Eventually, his son starts appearing in the food videos. His first appearance is when they return to Charm City for another double stack. And this is why I said I don't think he's making the kid do the videos, because based purely on the vibes, I get the impression that it was the son who asked to be in the video. Which, I mean, which kid wouldn't when their dad is suddenly getting thousands of views on TikTok? And the one his son appears in does even better numbers than the ones before it. Now the kid, Big Justice, is appearing all the time, as well as other family members and some friends, as well as staff from the local businesses they visit. After a 1 million view video where they get pizza from Sally Slices, they're pretty regularly having videos that do tens or hundreds of thousands of views. And the content starts to get more personal. They're going to the gym together, they're playing games together. They try a bunch of different formats and have success with some of them, like giving guests a budget to buy whatever they want at various stores, asking viewers to guess if their grocery bill will be over or under certain price points. And eventually, of course, the famous Boom or Doom series, where they review stuff and pit items against each other. They visited Costco a few times too, but not all of their content was about Costco like some people assume. And actually, the week before the Costco guys video, they had actually done a different video in the same format talking about being father and son. That one did pretty well too, but it was on the 1st of March 2024 that the Costco guys video gets posted, and then they're off to the moon. From that point, they're doing big numbers all the time on TikTok, with a video here or there breaking containment and popping off on the other apps again, like the double chunk chocolate chip video.
It's a double chunk chocolate cookie.
But really, what sends them off to an even higher level is the side characters.
Rizzler, where did you come from?
You know, introducing new characters late into a series is always a risky proposition. You don't want a scrappy-doo situation on your hands. And while friends and family joining the core team of AJ and Big Justice have always been a part of the show, newcomers are now becoming fascinated with what's being called the Costco Guys Expanded Universe. In particular, on the 6th of June in 2024, AJ and Big Justice went to Toys R Us, which I didn't know still existed. At Toys R Us, they have a Boom or Doom tournament, where toys are pitted against each other until one toy reigns supreme. And in this video, they're joined by this little fella named Christian that people just instantly become enthralled with.
Boom or Doom?
I'm gonna give the Optimus Prime a doom and the Nerf gun a boom!
He's just got this quiet, understated charisma that contrasts so well with the loud, boisterous Costco guys. And he hits a gritty, which Murdoch then turns into a green screen. My favorite use of that green screen was a 9/11 meme that I definitely can't put in this video. You also see him get compared to Hezbollah. I saw one guy call him the Guido Hezbollah, which he does appear wise beyond his years, but I think this one's actually a child. But things go absolutely nuclear when the Costco guys put out another video, now playing off the popular double chunk chocolate chip video. This time, they got a triple chunk chocolate chip, and they all rated on the boom meter. They get some guests, including Cousin Angelo. But what really popped the audience was the return of Christian. But now he's not just Christian, he's got a whole new gimmick.
It's time for the Rizzler.
And he's got a new trademark pose. You know, people talk about a thing called aura. They say Roman Reigns has aura, The Undertaker has aura, the Rizzler has aura. He's just ridiculously over with the fans. Now the Rizzler's all anyone can talk about. There's even more memes and fan art specifically of the Rizzler now. Particularly, I love these ones by Slug Knight. And people are raising comparisons about how Family Matters was never supposed to be about Urkel, but then everyone loved Urkel so much it just became the Urkel show. And judging by the way he does this Rizzler pose in every subsequent appearance, you can tell that he knows this gimmick was a hit. As it turns out though, although most people seem to assume that the Rizzler was just some random cousin they brought in, turns out he's actually a pro. Christian Joseph, now going by It's the Rizzler, had been making TikToks with his parents since 2020, and seemed to actually have his own dedicated following since well before the collabs with AJ and Big Justice. Scrolling back, he had tons of really popular videos the past couple years, including one with a few million views where he tries Popeyes for the first time. You know, at this point we don't have the boom meter yet, so he rates it. At the time of me making this video, it looks like he actually just recently opened a Cameo a couple days ago, so you can now get your very own message from the Rizzler. Honestly, the main thing that made me want to make this video, because you guys know I don't really cover TikTok memes on the channel, was the father's lesser known other career. In the replies to a tweet I made about the Rizzler, I noticed a few mentions of AJ being an indie wrestler. In particular, this comment got my attention. Knowing that the dad was originally an indie wrestler makes the whole Costco Guys verse make so much more sense. Yes, going from pro wrestler to introducing the Rizzler to the world tracks completely with me. Then, Not That Tom Green, who runs WCW Deep Cuts and posts a lot of interesting wrestling content, said this. Today I learned that the dad used to wrestle as the American Power Child Eric Justice, which sounds like a Japanese parody of an American wrestler. So I look him up and there he is, the American Power Child Eric Justice. So apparently Big Justice takes his name from his dad's wrestling gimmick. Hope he doesn't turn out like Dominic Mysterio. In fact, there were even some people who knew him from wrestling and had no idea about the Costco Guys stuff. Like in this tweet from bad boy Joey Janela, who some of you might know from his feud with Ricky Berwick. Eric Power Child Justice. I starred in the promotion that he wrestled in, NWS in New Jersey. He used to put his 8x10 on every chair before the fans came in. I think he lives by me. This is the first time hearing about the Costco deal, haha. An 8x10 on every chair. This dude really has always been about the grind. Although AJ hasn't really spoken much about wrestling on the TikTok, he also hasn't kept it a secret. There's been a few times where he spoke about it on live streams.
I was an independent professional wrestler, and you can actually see some clips of one of my matches on our page. And I was the American Power Child Eric Justice.
And it actually did get some coverage after the first viral Costco Guys video by a TikToker named All Hail Cullen, although TikTok removed his audio for some reason, so now the content's ruined. He even does have a few old wrestling clips on the account, but obviously most people watching this kind of family content don't really care about sweaty guys in VFW halls. But people like you and me, we do care about sweaty guys in VFW halls. Early on in that period where he was experimenting with a lot of different types of content, he shouts out one of his closest friends, Supernova, who you'll know from his time in the Blue World Order or as Simon Dean. At that time, Supernova was preparing for his retirement match. And in fact, the year prior, Supernova had participated in AJ's retirement match. The event, Standalone Wrestling's Big Bang, took place on October 9th of 2011, and it's fully documented by the Indie Wrestling Experience. In fact, their coverage is so complete that it includes the prices of snacks. So indie wrestling shows like this will often have a self-contained storyline that spans the course of the entire show. In this one, the Power Child Eric Justice factors into a story that blends the lines between reality and fiction. During a special appearance by World's Strongest Man Mark Henry, he's interrupted by a faction called the Corluzzo Collection Agency, led by Mark Corluzzo, and he demands a debt that's owed to him by ECW. With the Blue World Order in attendance, it's on them to pay this debt. Mark's father, Dennis Corluzzo, of course, was the president of the NWA during the time that Shane Douglas famously threw down the NWA championship, declaring himself the ECW heavyweight champion. It was a moment that would change wrestling forever, and leave Dennis Corluzzo disgraced and holding the bag. So Corluzzo's representatives are about to attack Mark Henry, when the BWO and Eric Justice make the save, setting up the main event for the night. Eric Justice and the Blue World Order would win with little help from Mark Henry, after the Corluzzo Collection Agency's attempts to cheat backfire. Indie Wrestling Experience's reporter called it a top-notch wrestling event. A veritable 5 out of 5 on the boom meter. I don't think this is where anyone expected the Costco Guys story to wind up, but I'm so glad it did. As of now, the momentum of the Costco Guys continues to grow, and it'll be interesting to see where they wind up as they experiment with different types of content, like this meatball recipe AJ put on their YouTube channel, which I mean, if there's anybody on TikTok that looks like they know how to make a good meatball, it's that guy. And honestly, it's kind of fascinating to watch these kids grow up as time goes on. You know, people always talk about how fast kids grow up, but I don't have kids, there's no kids in my family, I don't really watch family content. So it's a little mind-blowing when you see videos that are like 1 month apart from each other and all of a sudden the kid has a completely different voice and looks like a foot taller. And although some people are completely morally opposed to having kids in content whatsoever, to me it seems like these kids are making memories that they'll cherish forever. But anyway, that's the story of the Costco Guys. Let me know if you give them a boom or a doom. And if you like this video, turn on notifications and check out my video about the man with the golden voice. You know, I
wax in the wiener
sometimes. I got all different kinds. I got chocolatey ones, peppermint. I got this one that kind of smells like a Christmas tree. And there's been a few times when I put out the candle, I'm done with it for the night, I go to move it, and I get a little bit of a candle wax on my finger. And you quickly notice the unusual properties of the melted wax. how quickly it dries and hardens as it cools down, and how it just readily takes on the shape of whatever it's dried on. And it's pretty simple to make your own candles. A lot of people do it for fun or for profit, and get all kinds of fun molds to make different shaped candles. But of course, anything that could be filled with wax could be a mold. I mean, it's basically how a kidney stone works, right? Yeah, you might say that you're basically walking around with a bunch of free candle molds at any given time. This is the story of the guy who put candle wax in his pee hole. This video is sponsored by Helix. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding custom fit to your needs and shipped right to your door. Everyone sleeps differently, so Helix has you take a sleep quiz to match your body type and sleep preferences. I'm a side sleeper, so Helix gave me a sunset mattress. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. The Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and the Helix Kids mattress, designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the US. Comes rolled up in a box and it's easy to set up. And to make sure you love your Helix mattress, there's a 100 nights of sleep trial. You also get a 10-year warranty, as well as financing options and flexible payment plans. And Helix mattresses are fiberglass free. I've been sleeping on a Helix mattress for a few years now, and it's some of the best sleep that I've gotten. And the Glaciotex upgrade that I got ensures that I stay cool when I sleep. I love my Helix mattress, and I think that you would too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out Helix Sleep. Their 4th of July sale is running now, and it's a great time to upgrade your mattress. You can get 30% off an Elite or Luxe mattress plus 2 free pillows. Or take advantage of 25% off site-wide. Check out the Helix site for more details. On Friday, January 6th of 2017, a now-deleted post was made to r/TIFU. TIFU by getting way too curious as a teenager and putting something somewhere I shouldn't have. Which honestly describes a good chunk of posts that are ever made to that subreddit. It's actually why the post was eventually deleted, as they now have a rule against the common types of oopsie daisies. In my opinion though, this one's a little special, and thankfully it was archived on r/undelete. The poster, 30 years old at the time of posting, tells a story from spring break 15 years prior when he was 15 years old. He couldn't go outside anywhere for undisclosed reasons. But I'm just picturing when Bart Simpson broke his leg and suddenly he becomes an Alfred Hitchcock character. Although I guess this poster is not so much Alfred Hitchcock as he is Alfred plays with his cock. And that's exactly what he did all summer. It's just him and his 56K modem on a never-ending goon sesh. He also mentions that he was a bit of a pyromaniac. But he quickly notes that it's not what you might be thinking. We're not getting any kind of reenactment of the end scene of Salo here. He blows out one of his candles, and as I spoke about in the intro, he gets some wax on his hands. And in his bored, cabin fever-addled state, he starts playing with it like Play-Doh. It gets to that point everyone gets to with Play-Doh where you just start rolling it up into a tube. He makes a 2-inch long pencil shape, and then he gets an idea. I wonder what this would feel like in my dick. I don't know what it is that so many dudes just, for some reason, instinctually come to the conclusion that this might feel good. Because to me, that's something you naturally want to avoid, because you just assume it's gonna hurt. But I guess him and all the sounding enjoyers out there are just built different. Without hesitation, I dropped my shorts and proceeded with my endeavor to explore the unexplored. About halfway, I was thinking this felt strange, but after the better part of a week of choking the chicken, anything different felt good. So I pushed it in until I could barely see it. I sat there touching myself thinking it wasn't half bad. But then I noticed my little wax probe was slowly disappearing deeper. He tried to squeeze it back out, but it wouldn't come back out. It disappears inside of him completely, and now he begins to panic. I think back to the buckyball incident I once spoke about.
I get phantom pain.
Reaches for the X-Acto knife. But this guy hadn't gotten that desperate yet. His first idea, he's gonna pee it out. OP runs to the bathroom and pisses with all his might. But nothing. He then does perhaps the most mind-boggling thing in this entire story. He goes to the shower to look for it in his butt. How do you even conceive of that? Like, does he think the human body is hollow like a piggy bank and everything's just kind of rolling around in there? I mean, he was a young guy, but 15's not that young. This is like baby brain stuff. Surely you gotta have more sense than that. Although thinking about it, I did have a friend when I was about that age who
so
thought you could get a girl pregnant from a BJ. So I guess, you know, some people are like that. In any case, you
I
will
bet
be shocked
so
to hear
many
that he did in fact not
women
find
thought
it
they're
in
gonna
his
get
butt.
pregnant from
Then
a
he comes
BJ.
up with one third and final plan. He's gonna jerk it out. He engages in an intense session that he refers to as the Fap and the Furious. He was imagining that there might be a massive explosion of jizz and candle wax that frees him of this prison. Instead, he just got a little trickle. A pathetic tiddlywink, as I once heard this referred to. So he's just sitting and crying in the shower now. He knows he should go to the doctor, but he has to tell his parents why he needs to go to the doctor, which in so many of these stories is the reason that they get way worse than they had to be. So instead, he just goes about his life with a pregnant wiener. Every step felt like he was being stabbed in the crotch, and he constantly felt like he had to pee even if he didn't. But when he went, only a little bit of pink-tinged urine came out. But despite his agony, he couldn't bear to tell his parents to go to the doctor. So I just lived with it every day. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months.
And then what?
The pain never got better. I just resigned myself to the fact that this was my life now. He claims to have lived like this for 2 years after the incident.
2
Until
years?
the summer after graduation.
This
He's
has
at
to
a
be
party
fake.
drunk off his ass.
This
Then he
is
hits the
fake.
strip club with his friends. Which seems a bit odd as he'd be 17 years old. He
This
was
is so
maybe
fake.
18 if his birthday was in a span of a couple months. Perhaps he's in Canada or the UK where this is allowed. Or maybe he had a fake ID. In any case, he says he's having a great time and then he goes to the bathroom. He's pissing, but then suddenly the stream comes to a halt and he gets this weird feeling. And then I see it. Amidst the trickle of pink urine, I see this thing peek out the tip. It's the piece of wax I had lost 2 years earlier. I'm so drunk and excited, I don't know what to do. I grab the end of it very carefully and slowly pull it out. I stop for a couple seconds to look at it and ponder my life up to this point. Then I throw it in the toilet, finish my business, and go on my way. He describes the relief he felt. That this constant white noise of pain he'd been experiencing for the past 2 years just vanished in an instant. He felt light, like Goku taking off his weighted clothes. The experience changed his entire personality. For 2 years, this thing had caused me depression, anxiety, and embarrassment. With that thing finally out of me, I became less introverted. I was more open to going out socially. 2 months later, I went off to college and met the woman I would eventually marry.
Dude, this
It was
is
a
not even
strange,
fake. Is this
uncomfortable period
real?
in my
What the
life,
fuck?
But a valuable lesson was learned. Don't put shit where it doesn't belong. If you do, make sure you have some method of retrieval. Now, while TIFU will often give the benefit of the doubt to even the most ridiculous stories, people are not having this one. This one almost unanimously gets called out as bullshit for a wide variety of reasons. For starters, the 2 years thing. You really dealt with constant agonizing pain for 2 years straight. That's one of those things that no matter how deep your sense of embarrassment,
And he was
you'll
looking for it
eventually
in his
crack.
ass.
Hardened war criminals will give up their life's work over less torture. And you're some sheltered 15-year-old who's afraid of his mommy? Like, I don't think so. As one commenter, Sinking Fun 33 pointed out, the intellectual skill in writing this story and the act described in the story do not correspond at all. Why not see a doctor if you are peeing blood for years? You didn't have to tell your parents what you did. And even if you really are that tough of a 15-year-old to survive 2 years of agony, this would eventually lead to some kind of health problem that wouldn't be possible to cover up. Perhaps an infection of some sort. Or renal
100%.
failure. There is some debate over whether hydronephrosis, the swelling of the kidneys, was possible from a partial obstruction like
Probably.
this. You'll also remember that the matter of him going to a strip club at 17 years old made me raise my eyebrow a bit. A Redditor named Green6 pointed out a detail that I hadn't even considered. Story doesn't add up. Talks like an American. Don't know where in America you can go and get pissed drunk at 17 at a strip club. I hadn't even considered looking at how he talks. And sure enough, you can see that he's spelled endeavor as an American would, with no letter U. It was also argued that even considering the possible health complications, it's unlikely that the wax would stay there in that state for 2 years. Urine is warm and acidic. Within 2 years, it would have slowly came out way before 2 years. I call bullshit. Although another user argued against this point. Body temperature is usually too low to melt wax, and not even concentrated sulfuric acid would do anything to paraffin wax. Alternatively though, it's possible
I think that's enough
that
walking.
the thing would actually get bigger, because the wax could gradually accumulate minerals from urine streams. Another user, When the Light Goes, consulted the experts at r/sounding. I find it hard to believe that a piece of candle wax would actually be sucked down into the bladder by some unknown force. As corroborated by the experienced folks at r/sounding, a solid rod would be prevented from going too far down the urethra by the greater than 90-degree bend in the ladder. If a sound does get lost, it can simply be retrieved when the penis becomes flaccid again. In the unlikely event that the candle wax broke up inside the penis, one really could simply push on their perineum, the skin between your willy/vag and your bumhole, on their prostate to remove the object. He also claimed, as many others did, that the story was essentially a ripoff of a story by Chuck Palahniuk. The short story Guts, which appeared in his book Haunted. In Guts, the narrator details a bunch of different ways that people he knew injured themselves trying to get off, not unlike some of the videos I've made. One of these characters, like OP, also winds up with an improvised wax sounding device trapped inside of his wiener, and he's afraid to tell his parents. That being said, aside from that, there are a lot of differences in the stories. For example, the character in Pullups' story heard about sounding from his brother who was in the Navy and told him that this is the way that Arabs get off. He also set out with the idea of sounding before he found the wax, considering objects like a ballpoint pen. He also doesn't panic at first after he loses the wax, as he figures it'll just dissolve inside of him no problem. But then the pain hits him later. The story also ends completely differently. This section of Guts concludes, they paid for the bladder operation with his college fund. One stupid mistake, and now he'll never be a lawyer. So although most of the comments in this thread were calling it a ripoff, I honestly think it could go either way. The narrative thrust is the same, and the manner in which the wax is described as being lost is the same, but basically everything else is different. And that being said, viewers of this channel will know that guys are constantly finding ways to harm themselves in the pursuit of pleasure. It's unquestionable that countless people have actually tried this. And I actually have proof of at least one, but we'll get to that later. In the case of Guts in this story specifically, a poster named Lance Cooley made a good point. I thought I remember hearing Polonic sat in on sex addict support groups in researching that story. So it's possibly somebody's story, not OP's though. And this is true. He had actually heard these stories while doing research for his novel Choked and used them in Guts. In any case, OP ignored all the posts mentioning Guts, but there were a few threads in which he tried to defend himself. It's kind of hard to follow now since he's deleted everything and none of these posts were archived, but you can kind of piece some of them together in the replies. The best of these engagements is where he loses track of how old he is. He apparently responded to someone saying that the story could have actually been as recent as 10 years ago, not necessarily 15 years ago. But wait, would that mean that he was actually 20 years old when this happened? Because there's a big difference between this happening to a 15-year-old and this happening to a 20-year-old. And as one commenter, R. Scholes replied, so you aren't sure if you're 25 or 30 right now. A number of people also mentioned that they recalled reading this story before. Not the Polonic story, and that one has made the rounds before uncredited, but they meant this exact story. And sure enough, it had actually been posted to r/TIFU verbatim the year before. Funny enough though, that time the reaction was completely different. While there were a few very low rated posts that did make the Guts comparison, in this thread the people are mostly sympathetic. It's an absolute miracle you didn't get an infection. This is one of the many TIFU posts that have made me whisper to myself, what the actual fuck, LMAO. 2 years. TIL, dick wax is a thing. It's funny the difference a year can make. But as unbelievable and as unlikely as this story may seem, I actually did manage to find a case of a man pouring candle wax down his pee hole in a medical journal, published on September 22nd in volume 44 of Urology Case Reports. Endoscopic removal of self-inflicted urethral foreign body, a case report. The focus of the report is a 64-year-old man who turned up with an electrical wire in his urethra. But it also mentions that cases of foreign bodies found in the lower urinary tract have been increasing, mostly for sex stuff, but also people with psychological issues as well as people who are doing it for self-therapeutic reasons. And it provides a few examples, including a case in which candle wax was found inside the urethra. There's not a ton of details, but it states that they removed it using xylol, which is a paint solvent. Xylol can cause a bit of burning pain, particularly in sensitive areas like the eyes, the mouth, or the pee hole. But I guess that's preferable to having a permanently stuffed up wiener. But anyway, that's all about kids in the sandboxing yourself with candle wax. If you like this video, turn on notifications and check out my video about the guy who got buckyballs stuck up there.
Unbelievable.
I'm out.
Okay, I think I'm gonna lay down a little bit, guys. Call it a day. So thank you for hanging out. We come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is pool day. How am I gonna do this? Yeah, we can do it. Okay. Alrighty, guys. And we will see each other tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out. GG, thank you, boy.